What's up? We're Fall Out Boy. You're watching Fuse on Demand. Get it when you want it.
You can go even more profile. Staring at my cable. Control tape.
We'll address this camera. I'm not living my life for the eventual photo spread. This is not a gimmick. I want those records to be around forever. It's like grabbing people by the collar. I felt like I had power back in my life.
As we've been swimming in all things John Mayer, preparing to come in and sit and talk, we came with 4 aspects of you that I think make sense. Like we've got, singer-songwriter, shredding guitar player, comedian, and then the celebrity. You know, and I think
that's fair.
You know, and do you think that your attitude towards that is what enables you to survive in the celebrity world? Like it just seems like you're not letting it get to you and having more fun.
Well,
with it.
it's funny you even say survive. It really has all the power you give it. When you use it in some sort of like a predatory sort of a sense that celebrity is somehow or another capable of removing whatever it is that I built as an artist. I spent the last 2 years thinking about that and wondering that.
Right.
But I think if Battle Studies comes out and is successful in people's minds and they are able to connect as quickly and as closely as they did on the records before Battle Studies, then wouldn't that serve to say that you can survive anything that takes place in your life outside of music as long as your music is all right? You know, that's the most exciting part of putting this record out, is there aren't many people who fan out into 4 elements and ever are able to go back to the most primary one successfully. So I'm really returning to my primary element.
Who says I can't be free from all of the things that I used to be? Rewrite my history. Who says I can't be free?
So how has the internet changed your relationship over the years with fans?
Well, actually, I was lucky enough to sort of find an in. I don't think it's really around anymore, like whatever the new in is. Like for me, it was Napster. It was file sharing. It was internet. So once I even got a record to get out there with, it was really a dynamic sort of growth. The interesting thing now is just sort of learning how to adapt and change your reasoning with how you use the internet while people go on to different parts of the internet and different things, like Twitter.
Yeah.
This is just where the communication point is. And then it takes a minute to figure out how can I use this in a really authentic way.
But you pretty much use Twitter as a promotional tool. You talked about the album title, the first single on Twitter before the press release, before the PR
Yeah,
stuff.
but I don't really think about it as promotion. I was actually thinking about this the other night. Like, will I want to get on Twitter and say, hey, everybody, buy my album?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't want to do it. And there's a lot of times I'm at places or with people that I know would sort of up my Twitter profile as like someone who's wheeling and dealing and out and about and meeting and greeting. But that's always a time when I want to write something silly and nondescript in terms of where I am or who I'm with. There's something about using your Twitter to say, look who I'm with right now. I don't care who you stand next to. I care who you are and what you're doing.
With John Mayer
Yeah.
on camera,
Yeah.
he's funny.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, Twitter turned into be a really sort of a sweet, endearing thing. The question is like, how am do I even tweet that it's out? I guess I should, but I just don't want anybody feeling like spoon-fed.
Right. To me, it looks like it's just fun.
It
for
is
you,
fun.
The web.
It's like a little radio almost, you know? It's like, it's even more radio than radio is.
Sounds like an Elvis Costello song.
Even more radio than radio is. I can sing anything like Elvis Costello.
Oh yeah, right up.
It doesn't matter what you're really singing right now. You can sing anything that you want. I can sing anything like Elvis.
So you threw all these fun things on the web, baking contests, Mayer Craft Carrier Cruise, wearing a thong. How much calculation goes into these, or is it literally like Twitter, sometimes with jokes that you come up with that are like, let's do this, it'll be fun?
Am I calculating in terms of how do I keep my profile high in things other than music? And the answer is like, absolutely not. Like, it doesn't work that way for me. I'm sure there are times where what I think is not me wanting attention actually turns out to be me wanting attention, just in different language. Because if I have a funny idea and I have a way to get it out, then I usually end up putting it out. And I guess somewhere inside I want people to scratch their heads a little bit. Like in the case of wearing a green thong, it's like, you know, really in all these situations, the X factor is the camera. And the idea of going on a cruise that's yours and everybody's letting loose and they want to see you let loose. And for your fans, not that I'm saying I'm so shocked that the picture got out, but I live for that moment. I'm not living my life for the eventual photo spread or because of what it's going to look like tomorrow afternoon on Pop Sugar or whatever, you know? It's like on that boat, running around a lap in that crazy little getup is what you do to show your fans that you don't have to take yourself that seriously on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
You're discussing, you know, celebrity and surviving it. Do you ever worry that with unnecessary coverage of you and your life affects people's perceptions of your music?
It's absolutely a concern, but if you gave me the choice of one or the other, I still wouldn't change making the decisions that I will continue to make in my life. If it means that you're staying human and you're staying in touch and you're learning your lessons and you're rope-a-doping in life, then everybody's going to be all right because I'm going to be all right, and I'm also going to make music that continues to be from the heart. Because you close your heart out and you're not able to really make music anymore. You're just making tracks, you know.
Me and all my friends, we're all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing and there's no way we ever could.
Do you censor a lot?
No, actually, there's a difference between censoring and just knowing better. If I'm complaining about something and I am supposedly the guy who's got it all, then what does that say about somebody who is not in my position? It's like people are always, I read on the internet, people are like, oh, stop complaining, go hide behind your beautiful house and piles of cash and go. So I do now. I just have piles of cash around. And you know what? They're right. It works.
It does work.
It really, really works.
Thanks, John Mayer.
I want those records to be around forever. And I don't know what someone else is going to do in their life.
Right.
So,
So you chose a 19-year-old?
yes.